a businesswoman in Kigali, Rwanda. 8 years ago, she was starving and unable to feed her children. Many of her family had been massacred in one of the worst genocides of the late 20th century. But today, thanks to an innovative program, life is good. She earns up to $200 a month from her furniture business and employs 11 people.
kandi zikagurwa mu kwezi zikagenda. Mbona rero curuza bikagenda nkishyura inzu hatera imbere nta kibazo.
100 miles away in Bujumbura, Burundi, Dorothée is living her life scavenging on a rubbish dump.
Ega n'ubundi ibintu bihari ni bibi ni byiza. Yego. Ubucafu buhari ni bwiza. Ahubwo ndahahebye ahubwo bizaba numva kabisa ku mutima niyuguruye neza.
She has barely enough to feed her family. But Dorothée is about to be given the chance to turn her life around. This is the story about a groundbreaking scheme that helps people in extreme poverty rebuild their lives in just 3 years. Once she's signed up, Dorothée will be challenged in ways she's never been before.
Wasubiramo guharura na kugira ngo uzewemere ko twakoresheje amahera ngana guke harura neza.
To achieve dreams she never thought possible. But will Dorothée and the other recruits to the scheme have what it takes to succeed? In Burundi, Central Africa, average income is just 65 cents a day. It's one of the poorest countries in the world. But every year, around 100 families are carefully chosen to take part in a scheme that will change their lives. It's run by the International Development Agency, FXB, which targets those living in extreme poverty.
Nitwa Maria Rhodes. Hanyuma muri FXB niho dusanzwe dukorera.
The organization has pioneered a simple but effective system, the FXB Village model, that addresses the 5 elements holding people back in life. Food, housing, healthcare, and education all have to be in place and linked together to allow the final element, a business, to pay for the family to become self-sufficient. At FXB's head office in the capital city, Bujumbura, Giselle Ndarimana is getting ready for the day. She's run the office since they opened 8 years ago. In that time, along with fellow social worker Rose Arise, they've helped nearly 700 families out of extreme poverty. Today, Giselle's heading to Buterere on the outskirts of the city to visit one of the new families on the program.
Ces familles, ils aident chaque jour à ramasser les déchets des dépotoirs de Buterere et ils vivent de ça. Et nous avons aussi peur qu'ils peuvent attraper beaucoup de maladies parce que ce sont des aliments qui sont très pourris. C'est pas aimé ça. On n'est pas content de ça. C'est pourquoi on doit faire tout à ce que ces familles retrouvent leur dignité.
Dorothée is part of an ancient tribe known as Batwa, one of the first people to inhabit Burundi. Traditionally viewed as servants, their births go unrecorded. Dorothée has no legal status and few rights. A life spent scavenging on the rubbish tip has left her and her 5 children desperately malnourished.
Ubuzima bwacu ukuntu twari tubayeho twaragenda ku isitemu tugatora amakara nuko tugurisize nk'igihumbi n'atanu cyangwa nk'ibihumbi bibiri nkashangura intuzeye nk'utudagara twa 500 n'ikiro cy'ubunga n'amavuta n'igitunguru turose n'igitoki gikomeye ari cyiza twagitora tubonye nk'ikintu gitekeye neza nko mu isase nziza twagitora tukagitahana ahubwo ndahahebye ahubwo bizaba numva kabisa ku mutima niyuguruye neza tabucafu bizoba bugisubira kunukira ahubwo muzoba mugize neza
Giselle's bringing Dorothée a month's supply of food to feed her family, including rice, beans, cooking oil, and salt. She'll receive this every month for the first year she's on the program, until she can provide for herself. But Dorothée knows there's a second reason for Giselle's visit this morning. Giselle's come to check on the cleanliness of Dorothée's house and make sure it's up to scratch.
Habituellement, lorsque j'arrive dans une famille, je regarde en premier lieu l'état d'hygiène. Quand nous sommes venus la première fois dans cette famille, l'hygiène était très précaire. On dirait que les balais n'existaient pas. Ils ne savaient pas comment on balait la maison et que ça soit propre. Avant, ça puait. Mais pour le moment, ça va.
Good health, hygiene, and proper food are the starting blocks on Dorothee's route out of extreme poverty. For each FXB village program, 100 families are carefully chosen. They're nominated by the village elders, who know which families in the community need the help most, are most determined to help themselves, and have the largest number of children to support. "37-year-old Julienne has just been selected. Mother to 11 children, help can't come soon enough.
Abana ko bataranywa igikoma nta mahera dufise igikoma twari dufise cyaraheze nitwabibura tuca turindira amaka ku mugoroba tuze tuca tuja kuryama wako umuntu akuze urabibona ko atari ikibazo ariko abana n'ikibazo.
Julienne is a widow. Her husband died from AIDS shortly after her last baby was born. It was only then Julienne discovered she was HIV positive. She now looks after her 11 children on her own.
Anye jewe turara anye n'abana bato bataha abandi bana bagaca basasanga.
Julienne rents her room, but with no job and no income, she's 4 months behind on the rent, and her landlord is threatening eviction.
Hirya y'ejo nyene inzu yari yajenga gakumbaza amahera. Ndamubwira ati amahera ninayaronka nzagutelefona uze kuyatora.
With no food, 11 children, and the prospect of being homeless, Julienne is typical of many of the families FXB helps. Like first-timer Dorothée, she's about to embark on a 3-year commitment that will see nearly every aspect of her life change. Since they first set up in 1991, FXB village programs have helped 12,000 families in 8 countries around the world. It costs $140 a year to help each person. After 3 years, they will be able to look after themselves. Having a job and earning money is the linchpin in making it all work. This morning, 40-year-old Espérance has been up since 4:30 making buns to sell for breakfast.
ndiko ndabihindukiza bibitumbura kugira ngo ntibizigire.
She joined the FXB Village program 1 year ago. Esperance is the breadwinner in the family. Her husband died 8 years ago, leaving her to care for 5 young children.
Bivanye n'uburyo buke twari tubayeho kuko twari tubayeho mu buzima bubi cyane. Nitwaronka icyo dufungura kuko nta n'umutahe nari mfise wo kugira ngo ndandaze. Nari mfise ubuzima bwo gucingera iyo hiyo mu mirima y'abandi. Gushikaho ntangura kwiyumvira uwo mbwira ati nk'umwana umwe ndagufasha undi akambwira umwana umwe undi nkumva umengo no bikura nkabaha abagenzi ababanyi. Byari biteye agahinda kubona ishaka kwikura abana. Mugabo kuko nabona nta kundi nari kubigenza.
When Esperance joined FXB, she was encouraged to go for a routine health check. When she received the results, she was devastated.
Muganga mbambwiye ngo wihangane ngo amaze kwandura. Numva muri jewe sinshobora kubyemera. Numva umengo wapi namba yaravye nabi ibyo sibyo ibyambwiye.
Esperance had been married for 10 years with no reason to believe her husband had been unfaithful. 15% of the women who join FXB discover they are HIV positive. By speaking out, Esperance is helping to break the stigma.
Ubwo ko hakimye kamishe yarapfuye mugabo wawe. Ubwo ntuba wariyibye na gatoyi ugasanga biragenze gute. Ndavuga n'ukuri. Ukubesha imbere y'Imana n'icyaha. Imana niyo imbere cyabona. Jewe nta n'umusi numwe biranshikiye. Basi ncanga umukuma nibaza none ibintu byagiye gute byazananye he. Basha karibu nanye ndatwaye akayi barabara. Basha ntuwitinya kandi karibu. Mwaramuseneza. Mwakomeye.
Esperance is now on antiretroviral drugs, which are keeping the HIV at bay. She's well enough to sell her breakfast buns 6 mornings a week. Esperance started her business 9 months ago using money given to her by FXB and hasn't looked back.
Bitumbura byanje nabikoze biraryoha cyane. Mwari guhonja na mu mukumvirizo usanga bimeze neza gose. Ninga nkayijana cyake.
It doesn't take long for life to start changing once the basics of health, food, housing, and an income are all in place. But starting out from nothing can be daunting. And mother of 11, Julienne, has a huge mountain to climb.
D'abord, il a perdu son mari. Maintenant, Julienne ne fait rien. Et alors qu'elle est obligée de prendre en charge seule les enfants laissés par son mari. En tout cas, Julienne est dans une situation très catastrophique.
Julienne is HIV positive and breastfeeding, so there's a risk she could pass the HIV onto her 6-month-old son, Don de Dieu. So Giselle is carefully monitoring the situation.
Allez, Julienne. Recommence. Allez.
Começaram a dormir, mamãe.
Então, querida. Hã? Ngiri que tura. Como sente?
Água aqui da yoga.
Ah, arabiot. Okay.
No visit escapes the house inspection, starting with the toilet.
Vamos cara babu. Deve você chegar, nem sabor. Sabor de rei. Oi, sabor aí tá. Gostei. Para comer. Agora rei. Agora eu
Nearly 90,000 people are infected with HIV in Burundi. 43,000 of them are children. Both Julienne and her baby are on drugs to minimize the risk of transmitting the HIV.
Gigi, urazi ko dufise ejo rendezvous kwa muganga?
Yego ndabizi.
Bebe arafise aho bamuhera umuti.
Hariho aho nyene nagiye nyene aho bamwandika wenyene ku gakaye kiwanje.
Fata umuti witwa ngiki?
Nabyo nzi nabonye gusaba amayi ibicupa nyene bambwira ngo nzimenya ngo kubera ngo batamuhaye wakivuka. Nyene bijya nyene nivyo baciye bama.
Akivuka ntibamuhaye.
Everyone with FXB is given health insurance which covers medical treatment and the cost of any drugs. Good health is essential if Julien is to escape the cycle of poverty.
Isuku. Urumva ejo rero. Saa 3 tuzoguhitana ngaha. Zobateguye bebe asa neza cyane.
Yasokoje ibigo.
Yasokoje. Ngo. Hanyuma izo mpapuro zibika ahantu.
Yego.
It will be another 12 months before Julien knows if Don de Dieu has been infected with HIV. In those months, he'll be tested 3 times for the virus. Burundi's history is a turbulent one. A 12-year civil war between Hutu and Tutsi ethnic groups left over 1 million people displaced and an economy shattered. 90% of the population now work in agriculture, mostly subsistence farming. "28-year-old Jean-Marie grows rice on land once owned by his parents.
Jewe mu gihe cy'intambara twahora tuba ino. Uwo murima ni w'abavyeyi bose baramaze kwitaba Imana. Hanyuma tusangiye turi babiri hatwaciye tugabura. Akanye naki wanje kajya kandi nakamutonyi wanje.
Jean-Marie's life was shattered when he was just 10 years old and soldiers entered his village.
Baca bo baguma mu nzu. Bagumye mu nzu natwe twiruka hamwe n'abandi kujya ku umwana n'ubundi afite na nyene. Nabo cyaguma ngaho ngo biherera hariya nibishikino. Zumba bose babiciye mu nzu. Nta n'umuntu n'umwe nigeze mbona, nta n'ikiziga nigeze mbona. Bahambwe na leta.
With 2 younger siblings, Jean-Marie, aged 10, was now left as the head of the household.
Ndavuga ati mbega bigende gute kujya nkagenda kujya kubabanyi nkaca menga biragayice natwe cyafada decision rero ati ivyo byose ngo bantu menja mu gisoda ntumempfira yo basi boye ni foto je nkiri mu kirobere nkiri mu bagwanyi mbo aha nagiye mfise imyaka 14 maze mfise imyaka 14 nagwanye imyaka 3 nderavyo ubu nca nibuka amagorwa menshi naciyemwo nzoza ndebera ngaha ku iyi foto. Iyo ubunye baba kiriho ngira ngo mbafise akazi keza nk'abandi mba nkorera mu biro kuko nk'abo twigana bose ubu bafise ubuzi bumeze neza. Ukuvuga yuko ubuzima bwanje buba bumeze neza cyane gose kuruta uko buri uno munsi.
Jean-Marie now lives with Jeannette. A year ago, they were scratching an existence as hired labor in the fields. Their family was starving. Then their names were recommended to FXB, whose program is designed to ensure the children of those like Jean-Marie do not also end up as child soldiers. A friend urged them to attend a village meeting.
Aho naciye naze ndatamba inzira yose mbonye nzanye ubufu nzanye ubuharage nzanye ibido naje ndatamba ndavuga ngo mana nukuri amashengesho nahora senga Imana iranyishuye abana banje bagiye kujya na kabiri bamara imisi nukuri nagize mu by'ubwishime byinshi birengeze.
FXB taught them the basics of business and gave Jeannette $78 startup money to begin buying and selling rice. Jean-Marie supplements their income with rice he grows in the field his parents once farmed. A year into the FXB program, they have money in the bank and Jeannette has a new independence.
umufasha wanje urumva byose ndabimurabako mugabo ubunye abuza amahera y'igitunguru cankora muri kagatango y'akanyungu hakundi twaratwaha unahora mbwanya ngo byose ndabimuhaye nanje ndafise ico nunganya.
But after 6 children, they're still unmarried, and that bothers Jeanette.
Naneka magiye bikoze kubera jewe umugabo wanje naramubwira ngo tugire mariage akanga.
Jean-Marie changed his mind when FXB explained that without a legal union, his children may have no legal right to inherit his land.
Nzobanezerewe cyane kw'ico gihe cy'itariki 23 aho nzobanemeje yuko umugore ari wanje n'umugore yemeze yuko ndi wiwe urumva n'umunezero ntangere kuri uwo munsi.
It's just 4 days till Jean-Marie and Jeanette's wedding, and there's much to do. Nearly 10 million people live in Burundi. FXB try to help as many of them as their budget allows. When both Espérance and Julienne's mud homes were washed away after torrential rains, they were forced to move into rented houses, both of which are far too small.
Hajyama abana batatu. Aha naho tujyamana n'umwana umwe, undi umwana ari kwa inakuru.
Lack of decent housing is one of the main reasons people stay in poverty. Espérance needs space to help expand her business, and Julienne needs space for her 11 children. So FXB have arranged for new homes to be built for them, providing they contribute to the costs. Espérance has bought the bricks for her house, and it's almost finished.
Ndanezerewe gose kubona buca ninjira mu nzu yanje, inzu nziza nk'iyi, inzu yagutse. Ndanezerewe gose sifite ubono bivuga. Abana banje baramaze kuyibona kirahari mama yari bo bafsaga igishika kinini gose mbere kundusha cyo kugira ngo bahaze hano baronke na bicumba cyabo bavuga ati icyumba cyacu cy'abana niki biyaguye neza.
Julienne had no money to contribute to the cost of her house build, so her eldest son, Cédric, is helping with the building work.
Abafundi no munsi batanguye batevye gukora. Beba babirame. None ni gute ingonone tuvugane.
Cédric's working flat out, but the house isn't finished, and Julienne could be thrown out of her rented home any day.
Ushaka usubira ngo kuutera bushasha kugira ngo bimere neza. Sawa ni byiza. None iriya iyi nayo barayibona ariko ko Cédric yari yayiteye neza. Iyi
no kuregera neza iyo ubona.
Amabati nayo ntayo dufise ariko tuzotabaza muri FXB bazoduha amabati yo kuri toilette n'igikoni na douche.
Unless the house is finished soon, Julienne and her family may have to move in as it is. Rubbish dump scavenger Dorothée has been on the FXB Village program for 3 months. At this point, she's helped to start her own business.
Dorothée, ndashaka kumenya usubire umundi ruhaguruke utubwire neza umugambi wahisemo wariwo uzodandaza ikiniki.
Ibyo bijumbu anayo mateke nibyo bigo.
Dorothée wants to sell fruit and veg at the Batwa village market, but she spent most of her adult life on the rubbish dump and doesn't know any different. FXB will give her the startup money to get her business going, but before she can trade, Giselle has to ensure Dorothée understands the finances.
Ku mugambi watanze wari wasabye imifuka 2 y'ibihumbi 50. mugabo tubiravye kubera ariho gitangura turavye ko utariga naho uza kubicururiza tuza kuguha umufuka umwe w'ibihumbi 25. Uwo ni uw'amateke, uw'ibijumbu naho nibasavye imifuka 2 tuza kuguha umwe. Turaza kuguha kandi igitoke kimwe wari wagisavye, hama tuje tukugurira n'akameza ukorerako. Wumva ari gute?
Mu minsi 3 bizoba vyaheze. 3.
Uravyizeye?
Emwe Yesu azobikora.
Hasi Yesu niwe uzobikora, hama Yesu akahezagira. Sivyo? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turaharura.
Like most Batwa, Dorothée didn't go to school and doesn't know how to read or write. Dorothée is about to get her first maths lesson.
Nanga. Oh yeah. Harura neza. Aya ni 10 murayabona. Nanga. Ya ni 90 pani jana 90 twatugwaye 90. Mu nyuma tuzoza kuraba inyungu waronse kurahaya. Urazi ngene uzoza uragarura guhaye 10,000. Niwe yibuza tuhoma.
Inyungu nzasanze ndayandika bakaratasi kwa.
Urabizi kwandika?
Umwana azanyandikiye.
Umwana wawe? Umwe yiga muri CCE.
Wa gatandatu.
Wewe rero bisaba ko umenyera no kugarura.
Ndabizi ntawo nsaba.
Sawa rero.
Only a year ago, aspiring businesswoman Espérance was at the same point as Dorothée, new to FXB and about to start on her first business venture, making breakfast buns.
Barampa umutahe amafaranga ashika ku 70,000. Natangura ndayaranguza ifu y'ingano, ndateka ibitumbura, nungutse ndagenda ndakotesha umurima, ndawurima, nimbuye ndaronka amafaranga ashika ku 150. Ntangura rero kuja kurangura bino bitenge. Mu kuja kubirangura ndabirangura turi udupande pande, babona akanaga pande gagira, akanaga pande kagira, akanaga pande kagira, akanaga pande kagira, akanaga pande kagira. Kari hano ni keza. Yo mengo sinokagurisha no kiyambarira ko ari keza gose.
Employing a tailor, Espérance turns the remnants of fabric into affordable clothing.
Ngura ibi bipande pande kubera ko nasanze abanyagihugu bo ngaha barabikunda cyane kuko bigugwa make. Niyo mpamvu nahisemo kurangura ibi bipande pande kandi nabonye ari byo bisohoka vuba na vuba.
Now Espérance is in the second year of the program. FXB have reduced the money they give her by 25%. Because she's earning, she's expected to make up the difference herself. FXB continues to reduce their input as Espérance increases hers, and by the 4th year, she'll be able to go it alone.
FXB yaratwigishije ingene umuntu ashobora gutanguza amahera makeyi, ngene utangura kuyakoresha buke buke, ugaca usanga ushitse ku mutahe munini kuburyo ushobora kugera ku rugero rwo hejuru. Ubu rero mfite umugambi wuko ninamara kunguka amafaranga menshi nkaza ndagenda iyo onye Dubai muri Kampala kurangura. Nkaza ndarangura ibintu vyiza ndabishikanye ngaca ndanguza bandanguye ngaca nsubirayo ngaca nzana ibindi ngaca mba boss.
But for Dorothée, the journey into the world of business is only just beginning.
Aujourd'hui, on va alors acheter tous ces articles de denrées alimentaires et on va restaurer, elle va demander à faire le commerce aujourd'hui puisqu'elle a promis d'abandonner définitivement de vivre des immondices.
First, Dorothée will need a table to put her produce on.
Hewe, icumi waduhaye?
Yagira 12.
Oya, reka tuje kukarondera hano. Tugende hari indani.
12.
Eka ni 10.
Mama he. Mbona ngo mama.
Niko ukwiki. Akira Dorothée ni wayakwihera nuko ni bakuguriye.
Uyu.
Ubu ni wakuguriye. Wowe ko zimbaje ukibaza kuri jewe.
Wose wawe yatanye neza.
Gasuba. Ne peut pas si cette chaise est pour elle, que toutes ces marchandises sont pour Dorothée. Elle ne comprend pas. Pour le moment, elle ne comprend pas. Pour la première tranche, beaucoup de bénéficiaires éprouvent quelques difficultés. Ces femmes qui vivaient des immondices et qui ne faisaient pas de commerce, c'est difficile pour elles.
Giselle's made sure that Dorothée is selling produce that nobody else in the market has. And Dorothée's friends are eager to show her how to set it all up. For Giselle, this is just the beginning. Dorothée will need close monitoring.
Puisque c'est la première fois, on doit visiter au moins 3 fois par semaine Dorothée. Oui, pour le moment, elle est en train de pratiquer. Les autres l'ont initiée en premier lieu, mais pour le moment, elle est en train de faire elle-même. Maintenant, elle vient de récolter 8 500 francs.
Dorothée is not unusual in her lack of education. Half the women in Burundi are unable to read or write, and over 60% of children don't make it past primary school. Without education, the cycle of poverty continues. The cost of the books and uniforms is often what holds children back. So FXB makes sure that every child on their program receives these.
Il y a le cartable, le cahier, la boîte mathématicale, la latte et les stylos. Et ça reste là l'uniforme scolaire et là l'enfant va étudier sans problème. Le kit scolaire sera compris.
Today, FXB are rolling out brand new satchels, books, and uniforms to 709 children.
Abana murabyumva? Tubaha ibikoresho namwe mukazana amanota meza. Muzoba bakangahe?
Neither Dorothée nor Jeannette ever went to school.
Banje maze gucubwinga nababwira ngo nimushire mu ishuri ngo natwe ngo twize ngo mbana turi kwisuka ngo genda kwisuka akacavuga bambwiranye ngo ningende kurima burya jewe n'ukuri mbayeho nkabona akamaro abize kwine bamerewe cyane mba ngo n'ukuri cyane ntimvumwe ku bavyeyi banje batanyigishije nkumva ndababaye cyane.
Rose closely monitors the grades of all the children on their scheme.
Je vais chez Jean-Marie voir la famille et nous allons discuter sur les résultats scolaires parce que je vois que ces enfants n'ont pas bien travaillé et je voudrais savoir la cause. Nararavye mbona Jonathan sivyo afise amanota mabi kandi amaze kudubura. Hanyuma ndaba Yvette nawe nyene yaramaze kudubura none nawe nyene kandi yaronse amanota mabi.
Abo nabo uyo Yvette sinzi ko nafite amanota mabi mwana se waricara nko ku mugoroba ajya umuntu wavuze ngo bicaramo n'abana akabigisha nta n'ikintu nakimwe afata mu mutwe ntafata. Jonathan nawe Jonathan jeni baza ko ikwe n'umupira ngaha muhira apfa gushikana amakaye ngaha aca yiruka ntaraba mwikaye.
With Jeannette's total lack of schooling and Jean-Marie dropping out early, there's little experience to draw on to mentor their children's schoolwork.
Narize amashuri kugera mu mwaka w'indwi uko abavyeyi bapfuye ndi mu mwaka wa 5 ndagerageza kugira ngo mbandanye biranka ncananirwa ngeze mu w'indwi nje ndahagarika.
So Rose is encouraging them to have ambition for their children.
Bivuga yuko nka Jonathan sibyo turabe ingene dukwiye kumufasha kugira ngo adaheba agapira kiwe kandi n'ibyigwa bikunde sibyo. FXB, quand il est venu, il a trouvé que beaucoup de familles ne font pas scolariser leurs enfants. Et lorsqu'il y a beaucoup de non scolarisés, vous comprenez très bien qu'il y a des personnes qui font mal à la communauté. Et lorsqu'ils n'ont pas de travail, ils tentent à être des bandits, des brigands ou bien des drogueurs, tout ça. Alors, FXB vient occuper les enfants en premier lieu et en plus c'est pour aider le pays à se développer.
Jean-Marie and Jeanette's wedding day has finally arrived. And Jean-Marie has been up since the crack of dawn to ensure it all runs smoothly.
Chumi. Hizo zibiri. Nenda karibu tu wote. Oya jasha kisaka.
He and Jeanette have been with FXB for only 1 year, but in that time they have saved enough money to buy the food and pay for their entire wedding. They're expecting 100 guests, so Jean-Marie has hired in some help with the preparations.
Abantu baje kugira ngo bafashe guteka bamaze gushika. Ibiharage babitoye, umuceri bawutoye. Nabonye ko bacanye umuriro, hanyuma n'abandi bagize ikigara. Muze kugira hose hamwe atabana baza kuza kugira ngo baze kuza baraderanje abantu bazo bariko barafungura.
While Jean-Marie takes care of the wedding venue, Jeanette's friends are taking care of the bride.
Bana habasize muhira kumwe nase kumwe n'abajyango beruno no musi n'umujyango tawurize wanje urazakuza.
It's going to be the biggest day of her life. Jean-Marie's finally making the commitment she's been waiting for.
Bimeze neza. Hazohinduka ibintu byinshi kubera mbere twabana kavuga ati sindi umugabo wawe. Mbere yayimviraga yuko no wazara n'uwundi ariko ubu unye tuzobana afise umunezero nanje afise umunezero kubera tuzoba twarasezeranye imbere y'amategeko.
Chengera cyose nyoheje numva kanyamuneza. Ndanezerewe.
Around 3/4 of the couples who join FXB aren't married, so FXB encourages them to take the leap, not for religious reasons, but because it makes a big difference to their legal status. Today, 4 couples, including Jean-Marie and Jeanette, are tying the knot. And it's a big day for aspiring businesswoman Espérance as well. 1 year into the FXB program, and she's moving house. With the money she's made from selling buns and clothing, she's buying a brand new 3-piece suite.
Batarose 275 ntibashobora kwemera. Ubu rero nariko ndayisuzuma ndabe ko atahantu yoba ifise agasoro hanyuma mpeze nce ndamuha amafaranga. Jewe n'ubwa mbere ngura intebe nkizi kuko ubundi ho nahora nicara ku kirago ndetse nta nagatebe nari mfise umushitsi angendeye ashobora kwicarako. Ariko ubu numva nezerewe cyane ko ndonse intebe naronka abashitsi bazoronka aho bicara.
Espérance has hired a cycle taxi to deliver her chairs to the new house for her, and she's heading home to pack.
What do you, mister?
But for mother of 11, Julienne, it's a different story. Her new home is still no closer to completion. and her builders are nowhere to be seen.
Nashaka uno munsi bakore ni kuwa gatanu bakore bafute basaha mu muryango gusa bahejeje hama mu vyumba tuzoca twinjira uko nyene. Ubuhoho ko yasakawe gikuru n'amabati tuca twinjira mu uko nyene.
But if Julienne's landlord kicks her out, she will have to move into the new house as it is. FXB will be supporting Julienne whatever happens. Once her housing issue is resolved, she can concentrate on starting a business and bringing in some money. For Espérance, the dream of owning her home is about to become a reality.
Nubanezerewe rwose cyane kubera ngiye kwimukira iwanje. Ngiye kwicara ntuje n'abana dutuje twese ubu numva nezerewe cyane rwose.
Espérance's new house is on the other side of the village, a 10-minute walk away. So her friends and neighbors have all turned out to help.
Nimfasha twese turabitwara ku mutwe tugene dutonze umurongo. Ariho igisandugu kiri hajya ngomba cyo dushigishira hajya kwikinga kubera kiremereye ata ushobora kugitwara ku mutwe.
Vraiment, c'est incroyable d'abord parce que Espérance attendait longtemps ce jour pour qu'elle soit arrivée. Au fond de moi-même, je dirais que je me sens très bien parce que moi aussi, j'attendais que ce jour arrive.
Aha kumubira tatiretse hayi yo usanga nezerewe umunezero ntarigera nezerwa n'umusi wa rimwe ndanezerewe rwose kubona nshitse mu nzu yanjye ubu ndanezerewe rwose umuryango wakoranye abagenzi bakoranye ubu twese tugiye gutangura gusangirira hamwe akajumbu kabonetse.
1 year ago, Espérance couldn't feed her own children. Now, she's feeding the neighborhood.
Plutôt, j'espère en lui un avenir meilleur parce que maintenant, elle obtient une maison nouvelle, une maison durable, solide, qui va lui permettre d'épargner l'argent qu'elle donnait pour la location. Et pour le moment, c'est le moment de décoller, d'aller vers l'avant. C'est un avenir meilleur pour elle.
Nubwo FXB yodusezerera abana bakazoronka ikaye abana bakazoronka uniforme nziza abana bakazoronka ibirato bimeze neza nanje nkambara neza twese ukasanga tubayeho neza.
In Burundi, all marriages are carried out in a register office, but the blessing to Jean-Marie and Jeanette's union is taking place in their local church.
Jeannette, elle attendait impatiemment cette journée là où elle va signer que c'est la femme légale de Jean-Marie. Elle avait peur que son mari puisse la quitter dans le malheur. Son mariage va en rétablir une confiance entre eux.
kuri mariage yacu ukuri je yaranezereye cyane abantu bose baravuze nyango yego n'ukuri yari mariage karagafura nyamari yari ya president.
Ni sawa.
Jeanette and Jean-Marie are two of the lucky ones. With thousands of deserving cases, FXB only has the resources to help a fraction of them.
Je me sens très mal parce que maintenant il y a d'autres qui sont en train de solliciter l'aide de FXB, mais on ne peut pas faire autrement. Si on trouve d'autres bailleurs qui peuvent appuyer d'autres bénéficiaires, on peut sélectionner d'autres bénéficiaires.
Espérance, Jeanette and Jean-Marie, Julienne, and Dorothée will all stay with FXB for 3 years. Nearly 90% of those who come through the FXB Village program go on to become fully independent and financially self-sufficient contributing members of society. It's a journey that successful businesswoman Grace understands only too well.
FXB yadukuye kwitekerezaho, umuntu yumvaga ibintu byose bidashoboka, ariko hamwe n'ibitekerezo by'umuntu, hamwe n'ugufashe, hamwe no kumva inama, ushobora kwivana mu bukene.